Hi everyone, my name is Krista Henson and I am a junior at UWGB. I want to start out and just tell you a little bit more about myself. I am a stay-at-home mom and my husband works full-time. Last year, during the holidays, we had a really hard time not only finding the time to look for Christmas gifts for family and friends, but also we are a young family like most of you and we are very money conscientious. So I began looking around the house and looking for things that I could create gifts out of, everyday household items. And I found that we had dozens of corks that I had kept over the years to do something with. So I created a wooden cork letter that has not only been a wonderful gift for other people, but it has turned into a great pastime for me and a wonderful interest of mine. So I'm going to show you how to create a cork wooden letter that can be recycled from cork and use materials that you probably already have at home. So let's get started. On slide 1, you will see the materials that we will need to create the wooden letter. You will first need, of course, the wooden letter. You can find these at Hobby Lobby, and they are usually 40% off or sometimes 50% off, which is wonderful. Then you will also need the corks. If you are not a wine drinker, that's okay, or if you haven't kept the wine corks, you can find them at eBay for very inexpensively, and you can get around 300 for only around $10, which is great. You will need a big strainer, a bowl to boil water, a hot glue gun, a pen, a cutting board, a sharp knife, and sandpaper. On slide 2, you will see that you need to start looking at the ends of the cork. This is when you can really start personalizing the cork letter. You can look for different kinds of symbols that you like. And also, if it is a red wine, it will have terms of color on one side of the cork, so you can find light pink, sometimes maroon, and you can really pick the colors and symbols that you like that will make it truly yours or gift it to somebody else. You're going to want to look for different widths. For corks, it creates a really great variety of how the letter looks, and it just makes it interesting to look at. On slide 3, you will see a picture of all of the corks in a bowl. You need to boil the cork for about 15 to 20 minutes. This is where it gets kind of difficult. If you don't boil them enough, they won't cut. The perfect temperature will allow the corks to be cut like butter. And if you boil them too much, they will fall apart. So you really have to watch them and every few minutes test them out. The water should be about 4 inches high, just high enough so it will boil the cork. On slide 4, you will see that the corks need to be strained and then cut in half, lengthwise. You need to do this quickly because if you wait too long, the corks will dry and it will be extremely hard to cut them again. You need to let them cool for about 20 minutes or overnight preferably. If they are still a little bit wet and you try to glue them on the wooden letter, it won't dry and sometimes the hot glue even falls off. So on slide 5, you're going to start placing the wooden cork on the wood. And you just want to use a different kind of cork for each one. I never repeat a cork on a letter. It just kind of gives it a variety, and it's really interesting to look at. So, and again, using the red ends of the corks or the symbols, you're able to really show a variety of texture and of color in the cork. On slide 6, you can see that the cork does not fit the letter. So you're going to want to place it where it needs to be, turn it around, make a mark of where it needs to be cut off, and go ahead and cut that off with, a sharp knife. And then go ahead and glue that on. After you're finished covering the wooden letter, it should look like it does on slide 9. You're going to want to take a little bit of sandpaper and smooth around the edges, and it really gives it a great finish. After you do a few letters, it'll get a lot easier. So just to wrap everything up, this is a great thing to know how to do with a low cost. It's a huge interest of mine, and it's just a wonderful trade to have. Thank you so much for listening.